Good evening. This is Liz Busquets. Here we are, teleconference, the board meeting of November 14th, 2019. If you are listening for the first time, we just have, we go through each item in the agenda and we go around and we allow each director to give their opinions or comments on each one of the topics. So the first topic that we have today is a moratorium on program changes. And I believe Rachel?
Yes, ma'am. We brought this up again due to our conversations on motions that are currently in front of the board. And I actually reached out to Ray earlier this afternoon to get his thoughts on it, but he has not had time to respond to us. So between now and the December voting cycle, hopefully we'll hear back from Ray and we'll make a decision on how to move forward. If we want to declare a moratorium, we'll declare it from December 2019 through December 2020. And the only exception that will be to that is if the board or business office finds a critical issue that needs to be addressed. So that's kind of what I said in my email to Ray today. So does anyone have any comments on that or your thoughts on putting a moratorium in place and to allow the system to catch up with all the programming?
Anybody has any comments on this? Objections? Questions?
Liz,
Rachel,
Judy.
Yes, ma'am.
I just was thinking about the dates that you have, and so we need to make sure that committees know that nothing will be changed until the 2022 rulebook, because everything has to be in by that January if it's going to be printed in the rulebook. Has to be passed by February. So that means that really no motions after January 1st or whatever, February 1st. I'm just thinking about the times, Rachel. Is that going to be an accurate thing?
I don't know. Why don't you help me figure that out, Judy? I would love for you to help me figure that out so that we can get it right so that it'll serve all the committees. We can discuss it between now and our December voting cycle after we've heard back from Ray and get his input, and then you can help me determine what the best dates are going to be for the moratorium.
Okie dokie.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Judy.
Thanks, both of you. Any other questions, comments? Go ahead, Pete.
When I wrote the follow-up on the whatever motion it was that prompted a little discussion, I noted that we have a procedure in place in the committee procedures, and some committees follow it and some committees ignore it, and that's 631. You know, if it has an effect on the office gets a cut on the motion. And I don't know how, in my previous lives on the board, sometimes we were rigorous about it and sometimes we weren't. And it didn't appear that, I think it was the agility motion, had gone anywhere near the business office for raised cut. So if we do a more, I'm not real strong on a moratorium since we have a process in place, but if it takes a motion to the, direction to the committees, then we probably ought to do it, but also at the same time point out that, guys, you're supposed to go to the office if it has an effect on the office, and anything having to do with titles or, entering stuff in software has an effect on the office. So long-winded, I'm sorry. I'm still recovering from driving home. Thank you.
The one issue that I see with the current rule is that Ray tends to be a little bit nice, and he's always willing to go ahead and have the business office, do things by hand if necessary. And so, but that doesn't negate the fact that even though the office can do some of these things by hand, it's still adding to the programming part of things. So I think that has been one of the obstacles that the board has found in terms of getting the current rule to work for us.
Liz, this is Rachel again. And see, that's my point, and that's why I wanted to discuss this with Ray. Ray is an extremely nice individual, and he tries to accommodate all the programs. And so he works within his means to help accommodate, if at all possible. But really and truly, we shouldn't have to put him in that place to have to say no to committees if they bring up changes that they think would be supportive of their particular venue. So that's why I would like for us to discuss it at this level, to give Ray and the system guys a bit of a break on the programming so that they do not continue to get further and further behind. But I certainly would not want to ever place a moratorium just willy-nilly without hearing from Ray.
Yeah, I also agree with that. Ray, we need the Ray's input, no doubt.
Liz, this is Judy.
So
Go ahead, Judy.
if Judy and I, okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
All right. I think one of the things that could help this whole thing is to actually rewrite that particular line in the committee procedures, because it says that if the committee feels the office would be affected, and unfortunately, many committees don't think the office will. They actually don't understand. I think it should say that you will check with the office and the webmaster on any motion. If it obviously doesn't affect them, then it's quick for Ray to say, yep, that doesn't bother us, we can do it. But if it does affect them, then he can tell them why and how so that they understand, because a lot of the committees don't understand what goes into the programming. So I think we need to change that and make it a mandatory. You check with the office, you check with the webmaster.
It already says
Judy,
that
the
in
only issue I see with that,
631 of the committee procedures. I'm sorry, I jumped in there.
oh,
It already says in 631 of the committee procedures that for motions affecting the webmaster or business office, the committee will take the following steps. A, draft copy to the business office or whoever is affected.
Pete,
B,
that's the
if no
problem.
comments received within 5 days, I mean,
But
it's straightforward. It isn't.
No, it isn't. It says, read the first part again, please.
For motions affecting the webmaster or business office, the committee will take the following steps.
Stop there, please. It says, for motions affecting the office. The problem is a lot of our committees don't understand whether they will or will not affect the office. So they're going on their opinion or whatever they think. If they think it's not going to affect the office, they don't check. My point is they should check regardless of whether they think it will or will not affect the office. That's all.
And that's why each committee has a liaison to make sure that happens. Thank you.
Right, and that was what I was going to say. We can't bombard the webmaster and the business office with every motion that comes out of a committee. The liaison is supposed to look at each motion and make a determination if the committee did not, as they're working on them, say, hey guys, you must get business office approval on this because it will affect the business office. And I believe the board, folks sitting on the board, should know what changes would affect the business office. So I really can't see us bombarding the business office and the webmaster with every motion that comes out of committees. because it's not like they're sitting there with spare time on their hands.
Yeah, I agree that the liaisons need to be a little more active or proactive, as you say, in kind of like looking at some of these motions and say, you need to rethink this because this is going to be affecting the office. And this will be another addition to the programming. And, I do think that the liaisons need to be a little bit more active in doing that.
It's their job.
Anything else on this? Okay, so my understanding then is that Rachel will still speak to Ray and get his input, and that Judy will help Rachel in figuring out any timelines if a motion comes out of this.
That's correct. That's my understanding also. Thank you.
All right. So our last item for tonight is the Libby Long Memorial Obedience Award. I believe that it's on the Dropbox. I believe that they made some changes to their original proposal that they brought to the board during nationals. I'm not sure what exactly the board wants to do, if we want to accept it as is tonight, or if we want to wait for our next voting cycle to have a motion and have more time to look on it, over it, and make sure that it's acceptable the way it's written. So, Denise, anything?
Well, I've been driving all day, so I haven't had a chance to look into the Dropbox to see what changes they made. So if there are changes that we do need to look at, then I would suggest we put it off until next voting cycle.
Okay. Jan?
And I'm getting into the mountains. I may lose you.
Okay. We're almost done, Denise. We're almost done. Jan?
Okay.
The proposal looks really good, and having the only item is actually names the individual. For some reason it doesn't want to open on my computer. As the chair, I don't know if that should be that specific, and we could either vote on it now or in the cycle.
Okay, thanks, Jan. Jean?
I think we should probably wait, and they're not needing to award it until next year. I think if we vote on it in the December cycle, it would give us time, as you said, to read it and really go over it. I read it, and I think it addressed everything that was brought up at the meeting. So it looks like it's good to go. But like I said, I think we should probably just wait. And I'd be happy to make the motion at the December cycle, and we can go forward from there. It's going to be a shortened cycle anyway, and that way it'll be a done deal before the first of the year. That's all I got. Thanks.
Thanks, Jean. Judy?
I also think it can wait. I don't think this is any kind of emergency. We can do it when we have more time to actually discuss it and everyone has the chance to look at it.
Okay, thanks. Linda?
Yep, I agree. It can wait.
Pete?
Wait, because not everybody's had a chance to look at it. Thanks.
Okay. Rachel?
Yes, I agree with everyone. We need to have time to review it. December's fine. Thanks.
Rick?
I think I agree with everybody else. Let's just wait. I think it's a good thing, but I think it can wait till everybody has the time to thoroughly look at it.
Okay, great. So we're gonna wait and we're gonna all read carefully through it, and hopefully we can take care of it in the December voting cycle. That's all we had for tonight. I think that we want to, we hope that everybody got safe and sound back from nationals. And I hope everybody enjoyed nationals, everybody that went. And since our next one is in December, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And I guess we need a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn the meeting.
I'll second.
That-
Jane.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.